Hello, friends. We already know that most of the stars in our universe are red dwarf stars, and there are so many even in our neighborhood. While we are exploring the neighborhood around Sun, we come across so many red dwarfs. But today, the red dwarf which we are discussing is Gliese 887. It is different and it is unique. Why? Let's find out. Uh, let's get into our imaginary spaceship and get into the orbit around Gliese 887 to examine it up close. Now we are in the orbit of Gliese 887. As you can see, this is a live feed, and Gliese is rotating nicely. So, what is so unique in this star system? First of all, it is very close by. It is only 8.7 light years from Sun, and that makes it a close by red dwarf star or a star system close to our Sun. That means we can probably visit the star system one day, because as the technology advances, we may have a faster spaceship. We may be able to visit this star system in near future. In terms of the brightness, red dwarf stars basically emit light in the red spectrum, which is very hard to look at. But even within the red dwarf stars, this is one star which is very, very bright. It emits huge amount of light, and even though it is not visible to unaided eye, but it is still one of the brightest red dwarf stars in our night sky. And with the small telescope you can see this, and it is very close by also, so it is bright. That means that it has a lot of energy in it, and it probably has more mass. So when we talk about mass, it is a large red dwarf star compared to other red dwarf that we have examined so far in our multiverse program. Typically, red dwarfs are in the range of about 30% or 40% mass of the Sun, which are most of them. About 90% of the red dwarfs are in that category. But this one is 50% mass of the Sun, so it is pretty large from a red dwarf standard, and because of this, it produces more energy, and it will have more gravity as well. So that is why this is slightly different from other red dwarf that we have discussed so far. Moving on, we have found there are two planets, super Earth planet, in the habitable zone of this particular star system. And what is a habitable zone? Is basically a zone where the liquid water can exist on the surface of the planet, just like Earth is in the habitable zone, not too close where the water evaporates or is difficult for life because there will be more radiation, and not too far from the star system where it is too cold and everything freezes. So this is a very unique belt where there is a chance for life to exist on a planet, and water and the temperatures are just right for life to evolve and flourish and also go through the evolution pattern. So scientists mostly look for this particular zone across each star, and for each star this zone may be different, because for a larger star this zone may be farther away, and for a red dwarf star it may be closer to the star. So just like in Sun, Earth sits right in the middle of a habitable zone, and this is also known as Goldilocks zone. Now when we talk about super Earth, now in this star system, even though this is a red dwarf, there are two planets which are found in the habitable zone, and these two planets are super Earth planet. What is so special about super Earth? Well, super Earth is at least twice the size of Earth, and up to 4 times. So if the planets are found in that category, they are called super Earth because they will be able to maintain their rocky structure. And if they are even bigger than 4 times the mass of Sun, then they start becoming gas giants, just like Uranus and Neptune in our solar system. So super Earth is a larger planet than Earth, and scientists say that this is even better for life to flourish because it has more material on it, it has more gravity, and it will be able to retain its heat for longer time. And since it will have more gravity, it will be able to have a much thicker atmosphere, which will provide protection from the deadly radiation. So it has a long life, it has a much better protection, it has slightly more material available, more than Earth. So scientists now believe that super Earth, which is like 2 to 4 times the size of Earth, these size of planets may harbor life, much more complex life, which evolve much quickly, and they will also have longer time to evolve into a much advanced species. So that is why if we find 2 super Earth in the habitable zone, it's very exciting. Now we also know that the red dwarf are also flare stars. That means they emit flares once in a while, and these are very deadly flares, and they last for few minutes, but these flares are so strong, many times stronger than the energy output of the star itself, and it will fry everything in the solar system. So unlike the flares which we get from sun, first of all, we are quite far off from sun. Second is that we can actually, the flares are not like the red dwarf flares. So even if the Gliese 887 has a flare, the super Earth will be able to protect its surface because it has a thicker atmosphere. So that is why this star system is very exciting for scientists, because there are 2 possibilities of life to evolve and flourish. And you already know that red dwarf stars have a very long life. For example, if you compare the life of sun, it is only 10 billion years, whereas for red dwarf it could go up to trillions of years. So 2 to 3 trillion years is the estimated life for a red dwarf. So the star is much stable, the planet are the giant Earth, and there are 2 of them, and the planet will be able to have more material, more complex life can evolve, and the planet will protect its surface because of a thicker atmosphere for longer time. So well, Earth will not be there after a billion year or so because of the heat from the sun, whereas the super Earth around Gliese 887 has at least 10 to 150 times more time to evolve and try various combinations of life. So that is why Gliese 887 is very exciting. I think it needs more closer inspection. And there is another peculiar thing about Gliese 887. It is large, it has more energy, it packs a punch, but for whatever reason it is not as violent as other smaller red dwarfs. And that is why Gliese 887, even though it's a red dwarf star and with 2 habitable super Earth planet in the habitable zone, in Goldilocks zone, offers a better condition for life to evolve and life to flourish for longer time. Also, if life is there and in the super Earth in the star system, it will have a longer time to try various permutation combination as per the Darwin theory to come up with a better form of life form as part of the evolution process. So this is why this is very exciting, and this is close vicinity, and I feel this is something that it is worth exploring. And once the James Webb telescopes comes to life and become operational, I think this is one thing that the scientists would be very eager to find out if there are intelligent beings living on these super Earth planet in Gliese 887. So friends, do share your thoughts if you know something more than what I have discussed, and if you have any opinion, write your comments. And always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.